Sometimes, truth is stranger than fiction. Today, I'm sharing a story that proves it. If you enjoy dark, mysterious tales delivered in story format, you're in the right place. We upload once a week, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Our story begins in the ruins of post-war Berlin, in the bitter winter of 1946. It is a city of skeletons, where the jagged outlines of bombed-out buildings claw at a perpetually gray sky. In the ruins of what was once a vibrant, living neighborhood, she walks where homes once breathed, among the mountains of shattered brick and twisted metal. A new legend was taking root, a story whispered by those who huddled for warmth in makeshift shelters. A tale born from the city's collective wound. They spoke of a woman, a specter haunting the desolation. She was a ghost, not of a person, but of a place, an embodiment of all the loss that saturated the very ground. She appeared only after midnight, born from ash and silence. The few who claimed to have seen her said she did not arrive from anywhere, but rather coalesced from the shadows and the swirling dust. One moment, there would be nothing but the mournful whistle of wind through a hollowed-out apartment block. The next, her form would be there, a silhouette against the pale moonlight. She moved without a sound, her feet making no impression on the layers of debris. She was a phantom, woven from the city's grief, a chilling presence that seemed to lower the already frigid temperature wherever she passed. It was said that the city's rats, usually fearless and swarming, would fall silent and scurry into hiding as she drew near. She was a void in the night, a figure of profound emptiness that even the scavengers of the ruins instinctively feared. Her hands, thin and pale, would dig through the broken stone, searching for children who never answered. This was her unending, heartbreaking ritual. Night after night, she would kneel in the rubble of a collapsed schoolhouse or a block of family flats, her fingers sifting through the debris with a slow, deliberate purpose. She was not frantic. Her search was one of resigned sorrow, an eternal task she was compelled to perform. Witnesses recounted seeing her lift a splintered piece of a cradle or a scorched teddy bear, holding it for a moment before placing it gently back into the dust. Her movements were graceful, yet laden with an impossible weight, as if she were carrying the memory of every life lost in that single, devastating moment. She searched not for bodies, but for echoes, for the ghosts of laughter that had been abruptly silenced. Names would fall from her lips like dust, soft, endless. Forgotten. Those who dared to get close enough to hear described a faint, almost inaudible murmur. It was not a cry or a scream, but a continuous, whispered litany. Klaus, she would whisper, the name dissolving into the cold air. Helga, Peter, and Elise. The names went on and on, a river of loss flowing from a source that could never run dry. They were the names of the children who had played in these streets, who had slept in these homes, now buried beneath tons of concrete and steel. Her voice was described as being devoid of emotion, a monotone recitation of a tragic roster. It was as if she were a living monument, her very existence dedicated to remembering those the world was trying so desperately to move on from. The sound was more chilling than any shriek, a quiet testament to a grief too vast to be expressed with passion. Her eyes, they said, held no color, only rubble and grief. In the rare instances someone caught a glimpse of her face, it was this detail that haunted them the most. Her eyes were not blue, or brown, or green. They were gray pits of despair that reflected the surrounding devastation. Looking into them was like staring into the heart of the bombing itself, a monochrome world of dust, ash, and sorrow. They held no life, no spark, only the flat, unending vista of ruin. It was as if she had absorbed the entire catastrophe into her being, and her eyes were the windows to that internal wasteland. They did not see the living who stared at her. They saw only the past, a landscape of broken homes and broken lives, replaying on a constant, torturous loop. To meet her gaze was to understand, for a fleeting, terrifying moment, the true meaning of hopelessness. She is trapped in the moment the bombs stopped, but her world never did. While the living began the arduous task of clearing the rubble and rebuilding their lives, she remained anchored to that single, cataclysmic second when the world ended. For her, the sirens never stopped wailing, the explosions never ceased to echo, and the dust never settled. She exists in a pocket of time, a living echo of the city's darkest hour. The seasons might change around her, Snow might cover the ruins only to melt away in the spring, but in her reality, it is always that one final moment. She is a prisoner of history, condemned to wander the graveyard of her former life, unable to move forward, unable to find peace, forever trapped between the world of the living and the silence of the dead. Her existence is a stark reminder that while buildings can be rebuilt, some wounds are too deep to ever truly heal. Those who hear her voice feel a sorrow that does not belong to them. This was perhaps the most unsettling aspect of her legend. To be in her presence was to be infected by her grief. Men and women, hardened by war and loss, would find themselves suddenly overwhelmed by a wave of profound sadness. Tears streaming down their faces for reasons they couldn't comprehend. It was a borrowed anguish, a deep, hollow ache for children they had never known, and a home they had never lost. This second-hand sorrow would cling to them for days, a heavy shroud that muted the colors of the world and stole the warmth from the sun. It was a psychic wound, a glimpse into an abyss of despair so complete that it stained the souls of all who came too close. They felt the weight of her search, the emptiness of her loss, as if it were their own. At dawn, she fades back into the ruins, becoming part of the city again. As the first faint rays of sunlight would touch the horizon, her form would begin to dissolve. She would not walk away or vanish in a flash. Rather, she would simply become translucent, her silhouette wavering and merging with the shattered landscape behind her. The gray of her form would blend with the gray of the stone, the dust of her being rejoining the dust of the city, until she was gone. She would melt back into the very fabric of the ruins that had birthed her, leaving behind only the cold morning air and the lingering, phantom sorrow in the hearts of those who had witnessed her vigil. And the mystery of her existence would remain, a ghost story whispered on the wind, a chilling testament to a city's undying grief.